So 3 of the most popular videos on my channel were NeoPixel lightsabers that cost under $100. In fact, the simplest one went down as low as $45, which I ended up getting for our entire wedding party of 12 women. And as I discovered these low-cost NeoPixel lightsabers, they progressively kept getting better in the quality of the hilt and the features, all while maintaining a price under $100. However, at that price tag, the one major compromise that all 3 of them had is that none of them utilized a removable NeoPixel blade, at least not easily removable or replaceable. And unfortunately, for the past few months, these sabers have been sold out and haven't been restocked, which a lot of you have told me in the comments. But then I came across this NeoPixel lightsaber, which I paid $84 for. And it's loaded with the Bluetooth control capable NeoPixel V3 board, which makes it the first fully featured NeoPixel lightsaber with a removable blade for under $100. Greetings, knowledge seekers, the force is with you. My name is Priyo Joni, and you're watching Lightsaber Culture. This lightsaber we're checking out today is the Dupenga Metal Dual Lightsaber. I'll leave you an affiliate link below in the description. Now, I haven't done a lightsaber review in a while because I've come across a string of health-related events. After our trip to Tokyo, I came home very sick, which might have been the cause for what triggered the shingles, which led to this very rare condition I'm having on my face called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. It's a paralysis on your face very similar to Bell's palsy, but it's referred to as Ramsay-Hunt syndrome when we know it's caused by the shingles. At the time recording this video, I'm almost at 7 weeks since the paralysis started in 2 days from now. And I've noticed very minor improvements, like my left eyebrow finally moving. Also, my left eye doesn't get watery from being dry anymore. My face looks a little bit more normal, though I still cannot smile. That's as far as I get. But I do notice some movement in my cheeks coming back. It's a pretty scary thing to experience, especially since recovery takes weeks to months, even years in some cases. I had no idea about this rare disorder until it happened to me. So in addition to bringing awareness to it, I started a charity called Ramsay-Hunt Syndrome Awareness, and the proceeds go towards supporting the National Organization for Rare Disorders. And one of the things they deal with is Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. There's a donate button below or to the left. This charity doesn't go to me personally, but it goes to support research towards learning more about the disorder and helping develop ways to treat it, maybe even with faster results. If you can spare $1, $2, or $5, you might help bring back a smile to someone who lost it. Really thankful for anything you can contribute. As for myself, the treatment really is time. Been going to the gym as much as I can and keeping my mind off the condition and just living my life. Honestly, aside from the crooked smile, I feel great. And I appreciate everyone who sent me well wishes on my comment section. Now back to the lightsaber. As far as this goes, I was happy to finally find a NeoPixel in the sub $100 range. Now the price can fluctuate, sometimes as high as $135, but make sure to also check if there's an available clickable coupon discount, which is often 20 to 25%. So really, this lightsaber will range anywhere between $84 and $110. Like I said, I ordered this one myself. I did not collaborate with the vendor. Now, because it is a NeoPixel board, I believe this lightsaber comes from the LGT Saber Studios factory and wholesaler. In fact, this hilt reminds me of LGT Saber VHC parts, which is short for variable hilt components. Basically, they have these sabers and saber parts that are interchangeable so you can custom build your own saber if you wanted to. Lightsaber wholesalers are generally who design and build the saber, and they are sold and branded by individual resellers like Dupenga here on Amazon. If you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Doing so helps reach out to the force of the algorithm to share this with more folks like you, helping our channel grow. Now, as it's listed, this lightsaber only has one option. There's no different tiers in the listing. So for the price, what you get is a NeoPixel lightsaber with a NeoPixel board that has Bluetooth control. And it comes with a 32-inch NeoPixel blade which is my favorite length because NeoPixel blades are heavier because the pixel strips are inside the blade. Real quick, if you're new to custom lightsabers, a NeoPixel lightsaber is one where the electronics on the hilt control a blade that has LED strips of LEDs that can individually control them and animate them. It has a more realistic, bright and even glow, which the board can control. It's different from the standard LED blades of licensed lightsabers because the blades can do much more than just turn on in 4 blocks and turn off in 4 blocks. And in the custom saber world, it's much more advanced than what's called a baselit lightsaber, where the light is like a flashlight that illuminates a hollow blade tube. Baselit sabers aren't as bright, aren't as evenly lit, but they are a lot lighter to spin. And what makes this NeoPixel lightsaber special is that it's at the price of many baselit lightsabers. Now let's take a closer look. It has a flat pommel, very reminiscent to the Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. It's not exactly a one-to-one copy, but it has that styling. Same goes for these rings. And pommel does come off, so if you wanted to take a coupler and put 2 of these together to create a saber staff, you can do that. Now, I like the fact that it's not chrome because then it would be a fingerprint magnet. Sure, there are some fingerprints that get on it, but it maintains this matte look, this brush look, and the grip can also come off to expose the core right here. For a second, I was like, why is the charger missing? But it's actually exposed right here on where the button is, which is great because it means you don't have to remove the grip to charge it. And the NeoPixel board is right here where you see this 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which you can use to change the sounds of each sound font if you buy or create your own font pack. The button is exposed, and I like how it's somewhat recessed because it'll make it harder to accidentally click when you're spinning. And as we move to the upper portion, there's more rings here, and we get to this emitter, which has somewhat of the Anakin Skywalker look, where you know how there's an angle to the Graflex? There's this opening right here that you got to be careful with because on this part of the saber, it's actually kind of sharp. And it won't take much to actually cut yourself if you're using the saber. I really highly recommend, if you're gonna spin with this or you're gonna duel with this, that you sand this off so that it's smoother, because you could probably get hurt even if the blade is on, because this, like right there, can still touch skin and cut someone. Specifically, I would sand these endpoints right there, okay? And if we turn on the saber without the blade, it actually illuminates from the NeoPixel inside there. So if you had a blade plug, it'll light up, or if you just wanted to show that it lights up from here, it does that. Similar to what you get from a baselit saber. Okay, so let's weigh this. So it's 0.317 kilograms, basically 0.7 pounds, so about just under 3/4 of a pound. So it's not a heavy saber at all. Now let's take a look at what's inside the box. And I have to say, for an inexpensive saber that's on Amazon, I love the fact that this has a really nice box with the vendor's logo on it. So it feels official. Sometimes they come in the generic boxes that come from the wholesaler, and you sometimes forget what vendor you got the saber from. This one, I appreciate that it's in a nice box. It's nice on the outside because the inside is, you know, just your basic inexpensive lightsaber partitions, you know, the one that keeps the blade right here. So first we have our micro SD card reader for transferring sound fonts if you wish to do that. We have our tools, our set screws, and our Allen key. There's actually 2 sets of Allen keys and multiple set screws. I'm not sure why, but there's probably parts on the saber that probably need that. We have our product manual, and this product manual is specifically for controlling the NeoPixel board. And we have a charging cable, and it looks like a long USB charging cable, which is USB-A to USB Type-C going to the Saber itself. Two things to remember: only charge your lightsaber with no more than a 5-volt charger, otherwise you could fry the board. And also avoid USB-C to C to try to charge it, it doesn't work. And lastly, we have our 32-inch NeoPixel blade. It's NeoPixel because it has the blade connector right there. And with the exception of the lightsaber stand and the yellow work mat, this is everything it comes with. Now let's put on the blade and turn it on. Wow. Look at that. Let's change the colors. See it in red. So what's nice, because it's a NeoPixel V3, you have gesture on and off. You can change the colors. I have this in custom color mode, which you just twist with the gesture. Let's see what color looks great. Ooh, green looks great here. Here's light blue, dark blue, looking purple, going into pink, magenta, and back into red. Let's bring it to green because that's nice and bright.
Color selected.
So we have gestures like turning it on and off. We have smooth swing, flash on clash, blaster deflect. Ooh, I like that animation. I'm using the chosen sound font here, and mind you, there's multiple sound fonts and blade styles here. The thing about the NeoPixel is that the blade styles and all the way the Saber looks visually is the same for every sound font. So you can customize each sound font to be a different blade style and blade effect that you want. Let's do blade lockup. Hold the button. That's so cool. So all your standard NeoPixel features are on here in addition to the Bluetooth control. I'm going to bring out my phone, and the application that you use is called Xeno Configuration. And in addition to Bluetooth control, you can actually load sound fonts using this app through Bluetooth. So let's connect this to the Saber. So connect to Saber. Oh, didn't see the arrow. So it reads a Saber nearby. App is connected. So I forgot how to use this. Let's see. You hit the kyber crystal to turn it on. Let's go to standard colors. Oh, here we go. Custom colors. You can use the color wheel. You can even give it an RGB value. So yeah, let's hang on to green. Now, to test some of the blade effects, that's your clash, your blast, blade lockup, tip drag, and it looks like, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it is flashing a little white at the tip, kind of like if you're dragging it on the floor or on the ground. This is the force effect, and you can switch the sound font here on the NeoPixel app too. This is the New Horizon one. This is the Dark Star. So this is a font that you would use on a Dark Saber, but you can also have it on the NeoPixel, a standard round blade. The Assassin. Okay, so let's go back to the Chosen. Now, something to remember about using this app is you do have to have it near the lightsaber, like this close, because whenever, like, you can't use the app while you're swinging the saber. It has to be just in proximity, because I noticed that when I walk around with the app, it just falls apart. It loses connection. So if we go to this one called Hum Light Effect, you can change the blade effect. This is Fire Blade, which is number 1.
Fire blade.
So kind of like a Kylo Ren style.
Steady.
Steady.
Unstable.
Unstable looks like this. Nice flicker.
Rainbow blade.
Rainbow.
Candy blade.
Candy, it's kind of like rainbow but smaller.
Cracked blade.
Cracked with different light effects. There's up to like
Pulse.
8 effects total. Let's look at Pulse.
Pulse.
Let me know down in the comments if you want to do a full exploration of the Xeno configuration app with a NeoPixel board. But like I said, what makes this so exciting is the fact that we now have a sub $100 lightsaber, usually under $100, with full features including Bluetooth control. That's what makes this so exciting. So enough talking, let's take this outside for a spin. All right. So that was really fun. But you gotta be careful again with that sharp point at the end of the emitter. I almost grazed myself doing the reverse Obi Annie and catching myself right here. So I highly recommend that you sand that area off, especially when you're spinning, because there's a tendency for your hand to want to grab where the blade reaches the emitter or the end of the emitter. And I even noticed with my gloves on, it caught a piece of fabric right there, and they were brand new gloves. And a good thing I noticed right away, otherwise I would have ripped my gloves open. So again, be aware that this is sharp. If you're gonna spin or duel with this, make sure to sand this down. But the weight and balance is just right. The blade doesn't wobble at all. I don't feel any wobble. This is actually really well built. I'm really surprised for the price. Make sure to sand this down, but this is good for spinning once you take care of that one part, as well as light dueling. While they say NeoPixel blades aren't really the best for dueling with other lightsabers, I have yet to break one myself, and the ones I've been using every week for my Saber sessions, I never broke them ever. So again, at your own risk, if you wish to duel with them, light dueling will be okay. Again, the affiliate link is down in the description where you can find the saber. Now, if you want to see some realistic character sabers, watch this playlist right here.